Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. A handful of news brought to you in one easy-to-watch video. It's Friday, April 29th, and we have 8 stories for you today. We're going to talk about NXT possibly moving out of the PC. NXT, the female roster, told, hey, you may need to dress a little sexier. What happened with Bobby Lashley this week when he took a tumble from the ring in a match over in the UK? And so much more. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PW Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, just like, I'm going to butcher this name like I did before, Amatursu just recently did. Or if you say, I don't got the extra money, but I am paying Jeff Bezos for Amazon Prime, well, there you go. You take that Amazon Prime account, take that Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, your Prime Gaming. And remember, doesn't even have to be your Amazon account. It could be it could be anybody's Amazon account, whether that's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, anybody. You just say, hey, let me link your Amazon Prime account to my Twitch account. Doesn't cost you anything extra. We're good, we're golden, we're gaming. And speaking of that, gives you a Prime Gaming account that does give you free games. Right now, the top 2 free games are Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Game of the Year Edition, and what's the other word I'm looking for? The other one, it's Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. So, very, very, very cool things there. But on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well with a super chat or a super sticker donation. Also, remember, all super chats do get read live on the air. Also, I just got sent give me 1 second, guys. I just got sent a news story that we may be adding to the run of show. Give me 1 second just to check this. Let's do one last little fact check here. Boom, 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 boom. Let me go here and actual source of the story. Okay, got it. Sami Guevara was injured in the ladder match. We'll be talking about that. I'm going to make that the main news story. That's going to start the show. But finally, remember, head over to the Epic Game Store, buy a new game, buy an old game, get something over there. And when you do, well, use the code PW Unlimited. Check out. I'm getting multiple messages about this Sami Guevara thing that was written in the Observer today. So, yep. If I'm looking away, it's because I have 4 people just messaged me about this Sami Guevara thing that I didn't even see about beforehand. But with that, remember, head over to the Epic Game Store. Whether you're buying a new game like Sifu, an old game like Grand Theft Auto Online, claiming the free games, or getting points for Rocket League, getting V-Bucks for Fortnite, or also getting coin for Fall Guys, use the code right here, PW Unlimited. Again, that code is PW Unlimited. So, let's jump right into it. Let me now make a new mark for me to catch the time. All right, let's jump into it. We're running a little off the fly. I have not read this myself, so I'm going to read this directly from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. As Dave Meltzer wrote, well, Sami Guevara was injured. And actually, I actually have to move a couple of things in my run of show because I had a story technically about this match as well. So let's jump all into it and let's talk about Sami Guevara. Dave Meltzer writes the following in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Sami Guevara was injured on 4/27 in the ladder match where he lost the TNT title to Scorpio Sky. It was a few minutes into the match when he climbed to near the top of the ladder and came off with an attempt at a 630 body block and the speed he came down was so fast, this guy couldn't break his fall, and he landed on his neck and his left shoulder. He said he was okay, but hurt his neck and his back. Now this is where the second part of my story kind of comes in, where I was going to actually talk about anyway. So it says, they were in split screen for several minutes. Guevara was just laying there. Sky was stalling since he easily could have climbed the ladder and won the match. Basically, they played to the crowd and stalled, but it did get silly because it was clear he could win for at least a few minutes, climb up slow. Guevara had time to recover, blah, blah, blah. Evidently, they didn't like this. And here's where my second part of my story comes in, so we had the picture-in-picture, right? And if you were watching live, you saw them stalling and stalling and stalling. If you're watching live the East Coast feed, they were stalling. But here's the interesting thing. If you were watching this match, the main event of this week's Dynamite, on the West Coast feed, and actually I could maybe pull this up. On the West Coast feed, I don't know if I still have it on my DVR or not. If you watch this on the West Coast feed, it had the main picture of the commercial and the picture-in-picture, but then the smaller box where it was supposed to show the live action was just black. Completely black. So they edited this out during the West Coast viewing, airing, or whatever. And let me see. Dynamite West. Let's see if I can find this. Maybe Dynamite. I may have already deleted it because I have Dynamite set to record on my television, on my Comcast, my Xfinity. But when if I watch it, or if it's something that I'm like, oh, I don't need to go back for anything on this show. Sometimes there's been times where it's like, okay, I'm going to watch it, and then I might go back to, okay, I don't have it on there, but let's see if the replay on TBS has it or not. I think TBS has a replay. Let's double check. I want the whole show, not just a clip from the show. We're running blind here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, not quite blind, but okay, here we go. Here we go. Actually, they may not show this because they probably cut the commercials out. All right, let's do this. Ricky says, then well picture-in-picture, then well black was on West Coast. Are you saying you saw it just black on the West Coast as well? Because that's what I saw. Because when I heard, hey, because I watched the East Coast feed, but then someone messaged me and goes, why is the picture-in-picture black? So I went back and I checked it on my recording, and it was black. But I think I deleted it right after that. So let me double check here. Let's just see if, all right, here we go. Whole show. Oh, crap. I just closed the. Let's go here, AEW Dynamite replay. Nope, shows Dynamite. Fast forward to the main event. Let's go here. Please log in with your Comcast account or you only get 2 minutes of the show. Fast forward. Okay, here we go. So are they going to show the picture-in-picture here or not? All right, here's Sami jumping. He's getting ready to jump. He's getting ready to do his move. I think they're just going to, they're just their own built-in ads. It's not the actual, nope, they're not showing the picture-in-picture here. So, unfortunately, we can't go back and double-check it. But like I said, I did see it on mine when somebody messaged me and asked about it. But, yeah, very interesting. Sami did end up hurting according to Meltzer, his neck and back. We don't know the severity of the injury. But, according to Dave Meltzer, Sami Guevara was injured in the ladder match this week on Dynamite. Because he did that. And I even posted a picture of the move. Let's pull this up from... I tweeted this out this morning. Where are we at? I tweeted out this image this morning. where I was like, what do you think Sami was thinking here when he realized he was about to crash and burn? Like, oof. That's right there in the middle of this move. He was doing that 630. He was coming down looking at Scorp going, oh, no, you're not in position to catch me. And Scorp probably thinking like, oh, no, I can't. Oh, you came down way too fast. So, unfortunate for Sami Guevara that he did possibly, why did everything just, there we go, to suffer some sort of an injury. And then they basically edited the whole commercial picture-in-picture out of the West Coast feed. Which is weird that if they can edit the box to be black during the West Coast feed, why not just blow up the commercial and just air the commercials themselves and not have the picture-in-picture look awkward with just a black screen? That's my thing. But hopefully Sami Guevara is not too injured. Hopefully everything goes well. And hopefully Sami Guevara does not miss any time because of this possible injury. And why is that still on the screen? All right, so let's now go to my original run of show, where the first story of the day was Ember Moon apparently talked about how women in NXT told they needed to have a better fashion sense. They got fashion consulting, she said, and were told that they needed to dress a little more revealing. Just an interview went up with former WWE superstar Ember Moon, now going by the name Athena, with Chris Van Vliet. She said during her last 4 months in the company, she and other stars had to attend a meeting in which they were encouraged to dress sexier. She pointed out that she shouldn't have to dress like Mandy Rose since they were two different people. And also said that Rose is phenomenal, but not everyone is her. Fightful then released details from their upcoming interview with Athena, stating that NXT meetings under the these NXT meetings were under, quote, fashion consulting and fashion aid, playing up the NXT women. The women of NXT were larger than life stars and needed to dress as it. Let me pull something. Also, the Fightful report does state that one talent also stated that while they were encouraged to dress similarly backstage, and while, quote, dressing sexier was not outright said, it was basically implied. They were also given pamphlets of tops, heels, and outfits, and looking at just tops, heels, and outfits to wear. It does not match the dress sexier mantra that seemed to be the focus at the time, and you can find Athena's original comments below where she said, quote, we would have to sit through stupid meetings about how we'd have to dress sexy. I remember looking at someone else and laughing. I cater to children. I'm not about to wear fishnet booty butt cheek shorts because we have a 2-hour meeting about how to dress like Mandy Rose. That's not fair. Mandy is absolutely phenomenal and an amazing person, but not everyone is Mandy Rose. I started seeing the downslope as soon as Hunter was gone. For the first bit, we didn't know why. We just knew he wasn't there. I got angry. I was sitting there thinking, quote, I did nothing wrong. I didn't piss off Vince, end quote. They take Shotzi away. Hunter is gone. You guys promised me this wouldn't happen. You promised I wouldn't be lost in the shuffle. I went on this losing streak to help you guys out and build other talent so I could get a reward. We don't know what that reward actually was going to be, but this is very interesting that they were telling the women and basically giving them clothing options and saying, you should wear stuff like this, 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 and this. Now, not all women are going to, like she said, not all women are the same. Not all women can pull off the same clothes. And not all characters need to be dressing the same as well. We don't need an Ember Moon character who's supposed to be, as she was portrayed during her last run with the company, rough and tough, I guess you can say, dressing like Mandy Rose with her boobs out and her butt cheeks, as she said, butt cheek booty shorts, and her butt cheeks peeking as well. We don't need any of that from an Ember Moon character. There's a lot of people that don't need to dress like that because it doesn't fit the character. So I don't know if this is still the mantra going forward. I don't know if they're still implementing, hey, we need to have these fashion meetings. hey, we need to, talk about these kinds of things within the company and blah, 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 blah. And we also have this image here from Fightful. This is kind of the example of what they were showing the women. Here is what you should be wearing. Let me pull this. Actually, let me do this. I wanted to save it. Whoopsie daisy. They were basically giving the women stuff like this, according to Fightful. Pull up. There it goes. Okay. So basically what they wanted the women to be wearing. And I mean, for some, we've seen them dress similar to this. Mandy, Raquel, Dakota, JC Jane. This is basically what they were like. It was a Melanie Pace pamphlet, and these were the tops they were recommending. Or no, these are the outfits. These are the outfits. Tops were under, but that wasn't shown. These are the outfits they were recommending you wear stuff like. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So again, like I said, I don't know if this is still something being implemented, but this was something that when they were making that big push to NXT 2.0, and we're changing things up, and we're catering more to this audience and this audience and stuff like that. This was one of the things that they were pushing of dress sexier. Here's some examples of what that means, so on and so forth. Chandler Palpatine in the chat says, some of those aren't too revealing. True, they're not too revealing, but to some women, they may, even if they're not too revealing, quote, they may not be comfortable wearing something like that. I mean, I could pull it back up really fast. It's like, yes, they may not be too revealing. What if you're not comfortable wearing something like some of these outfits? What if you don't want to go out there in just pants and a bra like this one? What if you're somebody that you don't want to show out much of your belly? Like, look, no, for one example, Natty wears almost like the full bodysuit thing and covers most of her body up. Does Natty gonna want to go out there and wear this stuff with the crisscross belly poking out? Well, like this one here. We've kind of seen Raquel Gonzalez wear something similar to this one up here in the top left corner. This one in the top left corner, like fully right here. That's what Lash Legend wears half of the time. So, I mean, I get it. You say, oh, well, that's not too revealing. But even if it's not too revealing, maybe some women just don't like to dress like that. Maybe they don't want to wear clothes like that. So we'll see, because that's the route they're going for. They're trying to get more, oh, this is what's hip right now. But also at the same time, it's like you've got these 40 to 50-year-old men trying to tell these women what's hip and how they should be dressing. Who I think, I don't know. And no, I don't think Ember not wanting to dress like this led to her release. I don't. I saw one comment in the chat asking that. But as we move forward, speaking of women in WWE, we got to talk about Alexa Bliss. As she said, well, she's playing the waiting game right now as far as when she's coming back to television. Alexa Bliss has not been seen on WWE television since February's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view event. Alexa was interviewed this week by street journalist Adam Glynn outside of an airport. We don't know where the airport was or any of that. It doesn't matter. And she was asked a number of different questions. And one of those was, when are we going to see you back in the squared circle? And she said, quote, hopefully soon. I'm just waiting on the call. She was then asked if she's cleared to go, if she's ready, if she's 100%. She goes, I've been 100%. I've been fine and ready to go since before Saudi Arabia. And we have learned that, yes, Alexa was good to go before Saudi. She worked the Elimination Chamber match. And that a lot of people are trying to say, oh, well, they gave her time off for her wedding. No. Yes, she got married right after Mania. But she also told the company, I'm willing to work Mania. Yes, I got this wedding coming up, blah, 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 the week after, but I'm willing to work WrestleMania. So they didn't keep her out of WrestleMania because she was getting ready for her wedding. I mean, Carmella and Corey Graves worked WrestleMania. They worked the Raw after WrestleMania and then had their wedding 3 days later. So, like I've been told by multiple people, Alexa wanted to work Mania, and they did nothing with it. She said right now she's just playing the waiting game. She said, quote, when she was asked, when can we see you back at the Squared Circle? She said, quote, hopefully soon. I'm just waiting on the call. So she doesn't even have an inkling, an idea, an ounce, iota of when she could be back on WWE television. She's just sitting, waiting, hoping that it's sometime soon, which I do too, because I think Alexa Bliss is one of the better talents that they have on that roster. As far as from an in-ring, like an overall talent, I think Alexa's fantastic. From in-ring, as far as work goes, interviews, backstage segments, she's got it all. So why not bring her back to television? If she's just sitting at home doing nothing, why not bring her back? But as we do move forward, we want to tell you that this podcast, this episode of the Wrestling Wrap-Up is brought to you by 630. Did it again. 630 is a great new bicycle company here to help you. Every kid loves riding a bike, and that love grew into a passion at 630. In the early 2000s, we were swept up in the Southern California beach culture and found the cruiser bicycle an integral part of that lifestyle. Nothing in the world seemed to matter when we were on our bikes cruising along the beach, enjoying the sand and the sun. We smiled more, laughed more, enjoyed more. We wanted to bring an innovative and refreshed look from bike designs in the past. And so, 630 Bicycle Company was born. 630 Bicycle Company is the forefront of producing stylish and highly functional cruiser bicycles and that are comfortable, durable, reliable, and all within a very reasonable price range. Whether it's a standard or electric, we're confident at 630 there will be a bike for your perfect fit. Looking to get a bike, whether that's standard or electric, then look no further than 630, as they make different kinds of bikes for all ages. Use our link in the chat or the description below and tell them, well, you heard from them at PW Unlimited, pwunlimited.co/630. Spell it all out, SIXTHREEZERO. They're bringing the old beach cruiser back for a new generation. As we go forward, there's a kind of an update to a story from earlier this week about, well, Bret Hart. So many people are asking, why are they teasing Bret Hart in AEW when Bret Hart is not coming to AEW? Then we heard from Dave Meltzer that, well, Bret Hart may have signed a big lucrative deal with the WWE. Hold on. I need to check something. Give me 1 second, guys. There may have been... Let me check something. Only one person is saying this in the chat, so I don't want to say it if it's not true. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, Sylvan Clarkson, I'm going to actually time you out for spamming the chat. And I don't see what you are saying. Yeah, I'm seeing nothing on that. I don't want it in the chat in case it's not true. And I don't see it anywhere. If it was true, it'd be all over Twitter right now, and it's not. So I don't know where you're getting your information. Maybe you can send me a message on Twitter, Sylvan, or Sylvia Clarkson. Send me a message on Twitter to let us know if that, I don't think it's true. So I don't see anything of it. So maybe you got a source I don't got and someone that I don't see. So no spam in the chat with false information, please. Sorry for that to derail the show. But let's get back to it. So let's start over. Last week, there was news coming out that Bret Hart was, signed to a lucrative deal within WWE. That this deal would not allow him to work AEW shows, even though AEW was technically kind of trying to tease him with FTR. We then learned that he's going to manage FTR on a upcoming big-time wrestling show, but We got some more info on this from Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter. According to a report from Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, AEW was under the impression that Hart could not appear for them based on an agreement they believed he had with WWE. Hart has then said that his only deal with WWE is for merchandise, however. Meltzer wrote, quote, Bret Hart said that his only deal with WWE is a merchandising deal and not any other deal. AEW was under the impression that he could not appear for them due to his deal with WWE. We don't have it clear whether Hart could legally appear on AEW broadcasts or not, past AEW believed he was not legally available for them. So we don't know exactly what all this does mean. We don't know if this means he can now because it's only a licensing deal. Maybe that's how they got him into the video game. Are they going to sell some more Bret Hart T-shirts on WWE Shop? So now this, it comes in on, okay, if it's just a licensing deal, which is actually different from a Legends deal, then maybe he can actually appear on AEW television. We're going to have to wait and see, but this actually sounds more promising for AEW than it did a week ago when we heard lucrative deal with WWE. This doesn't seem that much of a, quote, lucrative deal. Just, hey, we want to use your likeness in like video games and on T-shirts and stuff. But it's not like a full Legends deal where they can dictate, oh, you want to work for this company? Nah, no. So we'll keep following this story and seeing if eventually Bret can show up in AEW. Fonzie, we've talked about that weeks ago. We talked about the Cavender twins weeks ago. It's unfortunate they're leaving Fresno State because now the Fresno, no offense, but now Fresno State women's basketball team is not going to be all that great. Trust me, I've been to a number of Fresno State women's basketball games. And the Cavender twins, they're money. They're money. They got great charisma on the court. They're amazing on the court. Both sisters. Now they're going to University of Miami. Going to Miami, leaving Fresno. Yeah, they're going to be closer to the PC, but that probably means nothing. I don't think them agreeing to go to Miami, leave Fresno to go to Miami, had anything to do with WWE. Yeah, they're 3 hours from the PC now, and WWE said if you're signed to an NIL deal with us, you're allowed to come in and train at the PC anytime you want. I think it's just a coincidence. I know Miami has a great women's basketball program, so that's probably why they went there. But I honestly don't think that them signing with Miami had any what's the word I'm looking for, influence from WWE. So as we move forward, it looks like another NXT, not wrestler, but personality this time, is getting a name change as well. It looks like Robert Stone may be getting his name changed to just Mr. Stone because, well, Robert is his real name. According to Dave Meltzer on the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer wrote, quote, Robert Stone, because his real name is Robert Strauss, is now just Mr. Stone. Again, they don't want people using any part of their real names, whether that's your first name, whether that's your last name. Hence why Raquel Gonzalez got changed to Raquel Rodriguez. Yes, her real name is Victoria, not Raquel, but her last name is Gonzalez. So they changed her from Gonzalez to Rodriguez. But now, Robert Stone, and they haven't changed this yet on WWE.com in his profile as of this morning, but he will now just be Mr. Stone. But we can go over to WWE.com because as of when I checked this last 2 hours ago, he was still listed as Robert Stone on their website. But that means nothing, to be honest, because it took them like 3 days to change Ciampa's name on the website. Because Ciampa is now just Ciampa. But if we look here, Robert Stone, he is still listed as Robert Stone on the NXT 2.0 brand. He's not Mr. Stone yet, but unfortunately, yeah. He's getting a name change to, quote, Mr. Stone. Now, as we move forward, I do got to pull up a video here because, well, some stuff went down this week at the WWE live event that I wouldn't call it funny, but I would say oofa about. So, earlier this week, well, actually, I think it was last night, WWE ran a live event in the UK, and unfortunately, there was a little bit of a snafu when it comes to the match. I'm going to pull this up here on the screen right now. When it comes to the match between Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Let's pull this up here. Switch screens, and let's play this. So, Drew's on the shoulders of Mac. So, hold on. So, let's go back to the beginning here. So, Drew is on the shoulders of Bobby Lashley. Drew gets off, pushes Lashley into the ropes. Crowd's chanting Claymore. He backs it up. Whoa! Hold on. Let's watch this. Let's slow this down. So, Drew goes to bounce off the ropes, right? We don't know if maybe he's going to go for a Claymore. We don't know what. But Drew goes to bounce off the ropes. He bounces really far. Like, I don't know why he would bounce that far. And as he does, the rope actually snaps back here on the right side. You see the rope snap off the pressure of Drew pulling the rope so far back. Because, this is happening in real time, Bobby Lashley doesn't know this. He goes to bounce off the ropes, basically similar to the way Drew was bouncing, takes a tumble. Ooh, buddy. Tumbles right out of the ring. Drew falls to his knees like, holy crap, what just happened? Let's watch this again in real time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Bob Lashley. And they recovered. Lashley said he was fine and actually sent out a tweet about this, stating, and some of y'all think I'm not the toughest guy in WWE? Crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji. So, yeah, ooh, ugh. That was a rough one. But finished the match. All seems to be okay. And that could have, just like James Jones here says, could have gone a whole lot worse. But as we move into our final news story of the show here, talk about one last NXT story. Because NXT will be moving out of the PC and back to their original home, Full Sail University. When FCW was folded and turned into NXT in 2012, they started filming the product from Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. When the pandemic hit, they continued to run a little bit from Full Sail University, but eventually, once the main roster moved out of the PC, moved production from Full Sail to the WWE Performance Center, rebranding it, the CWC, the Capital Wrestling Center. Now, it looks like there's talks on them moving back to Full Sail. According to Dave Meltzer, in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer reported that there have at least been talks of the NXT brand returning to Full Sail University. No other details were given on this, but it would be a good move for all. It would be a good move for Full Sail because, they got that partnership back with WWE. What WWE's partnership with Full Sail used to be was people in their live events production program were getting on the job, I guess you could say, experience as they were working as interns in the NXT roster, or not roster, but brand. WWE would have students from the school, working different jobs in NXT on taping days, whether that's running cameras, lights, pyro, whatever it was. They didn't run much pyro in Full Sail, but whatever it was, they were getting on the job experience. Plus, some of them that impressed WWE as an intern were getting scholarships to Full Sail from WWE as well. I think in turn, WWE had paid upwards, if not more, than over $500,000 in scholarships during their time with Full Sail. Why this would be a good thing for WWE is because that means more people in attendance, bigger crowds at the NXT tapings. Right now, roughly 100 or so, maybe 150, depending on if they cram more seats, which they have done in the past couple of weeks. I think in the last month or so, they tried to cram more seating into the CWC. We've seen the ringside area shrink, and even the ramp itself, the entranceway, shrink as well. So that would mean more seating, or, they're trying to fit more people into these tapings at the Performance Center. Full Sail, they were getting 400 people. They were getting upwards of 400 people inside of Full Sail. So that would be great as well. If they're getting more people, it means a larger audience for the crowd to work off of, better sounding crowds during the NXT 2.0 on Tuesdays. So For everybody, it's just better. It helps WWE because then they can open the PC back up with multiple rings for training. They can get back to how they really wanted to train people back in the day. And it helps Full Sail because, again, the internship program with WWE, the interns working NXT, possibly getting scholarships and grants and stuff through WWE. It's a win-win for anybody, but we don't have much details on this story other than, hey, talks have happened and it could be happening. How soon? We don't know. How often? We don't know. Would they go and do like old school, NXT where they'd film a month at a time and then air it? Or would it still be live every single week? So I think this is great. I think this is fun. And I can't wait to see them move back to Full Sail University. But with that, guys, that's it. That's the wrestling wrap up. As far as tonight does go. Okay, Sylvia, I am again going to time you out because, well, I asked you to send me actual credible information about this and not just spam the chat. So again, it's Friday. We got SmackDown tonight. I'm going to give you a slight rundown of what you can expect, but with no spoilers. First off, we do know the Intercontinental Championship will be on the line tonight when Ricochet defends against Shanky. We also do know that there will be a cage match kicking off. I think it kicks off. That's what they said in the commercial. Kicking off tonight's NXT as Drew McIntyre takes on Sami Zayn. And also we do know there will be 2 Beat the Clock I Quit challenges with Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. Each will be in technically an I Quit match, having to make their opponent say I quit before the other. And I don't think they've said there's any stakes on this. It's just to see who the better woman is. So that is all we know as far as, what's the word I'm looking for? Tonight's SmackDown. There is more we know of, but because tonight's SmackDown is a pre-tape show, and I don't want to put spoilers out right now because some people don't want to be spoiled, I'm not going to say any more. That's what WWE is advertising, and that's all we're going to talk about. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PW Unlimited. Remember, we will be back live tonight for Friday Night SmackDown. So have a great night, guys, and we'll see you later, hopefully, tonight for SmackDown. Have a good one, guys.